I'm LaJohn Reese, aka Fahim. Motivated to Help Others presents Voices of the Unheard Tears to the community and world where women have become vulnerable with courage and strength to give their heartfelt truths on losing a loved one. This is needed because it allows women who have been faced with fear and criticism to open up and feel free to speak. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to episode 2 of Voices of the Unheard Tears, which is presented by Motivated to Help Others. And today, on May 21st, 2021, I have Miss Tanya Robinson. How you doing today, Tanya?
I'm good. How are you? Thank you
Wonderful.
for having me.
Oh, no problem. Well, basically it was easy. Me knowing your husband, he saw episode 1.
Mm-hmm.
He contacted me. He said, you know what? I believe my wife would be a good person to be on your show. And so as we go on, we here in Rich City Studios, and my man Chuck is behind the camera. Where are you from?
Richmond, California.
Was I born and raised?
Born and raised.
Part of Richmond was born and raised in.
Well, I was born in Richmond Hospital, so I grew up. Well, we lived here on 6th and Lucas for maybe till I was about 1. Then we moved to Hilltop.
Okay,
I grew up in Hilltop.
So so the old Richmond, a lot of people's going, they say Brookside Hospital, but Richmond Hospital right there on 23rd Street, by the old Andy's Donuts. Andy's Donuts still there?
Yes.
Still there, huh? Wow. So tell me a little bit about your upbringing. How was your upbringing, rather?
It was good. It was good. It was stable. My mom actually had me at 16.
Okay.
And then her and my dad never were together, so. And then she married a man, and then we moved to Hilltop. And I had 6 brothers and sisters.
Oh, okay.
Instant. Yeah, so it was an instant Brady Bunch.
Okay. Was there any fightings amongst you guys? A lot of fights?
No, we had good times.
Hold on. It wasn't
No.
at least one fight, you
Nope.
being a sister?
No.
Amongst them brothers?
We had good times. We didn't have little arguments, but we didn't fight or anything.
Oh, that's good. And so I know you guys protected each other.
Yeah, we did.
That's good. That's good.
We did.
Okay. So,
we still talk today.
y'all still talk?
Mm-hmm.
What's the ages?
Ooh. Oh, goodness.
Okay, well, where do you fit in at?
I am second to the last.
Okay.
So the last, my sister is 51, 52. So it goes up from there.
All right. So you almost second to the last. That's not bad.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, they got to protect you.
Yeah.
But they had to protect you.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Pretty good.
Okay. Got a couple questions for you.
Went to Helms.
With the Helms? How was in the Helms?
It was good. It was a little feisty. A little feisty.
So you had a couple fisticuffs there?
Yeah, a couple fisticuffs.
Why?
I don't know.
You remember? It was a long time ago, though.
Long time ago.
I remember I was going to Warren Crespi Junior High, and we always got into it with Helms for some reason. I don't know, because we was going up the hill, dealing with the white folks a little bit, because they was up there, but it was a lot of black people up there. But those were the fun times. I was going to Crespi, I believe, 81. Yep, 81, 1982. Yes. So tell me, what made you decide to come on this show, episode 2 of Voices of the Unheard Tears? Because mind you, for those who don't know, we got the intro, but for those who don't know, Voices of the Unheard Tears, it's about women, as yourself, being able to give their deep insights, express their true feelings on how it is to lose a loved one. So what brought you to the show?
Actually, my husband said it would be good for me to do. So I came. I thought about it. Long and hard. I don't like to talk about it, but he contacted you, and here I am. That's what, I thought about it, and I prayed about it.
Right, and that's good. And prayer is strong and powerful. We're gonna get to the it.
The it.
Right. Now, you said you watched the show.
I did.
You watched episode 1.
I did.
So what did you get out of episode 1? And what inspired you? What caught you and said, okay, I think I can do that?
Well, I did grow up with Denise Dee Dee Turner.
Yes.
And I did, we would be out a couple times at different parties and functions and things. And I just watched her. I just watched her and I felt her pain. I felt it. I felt, how she felt when she lost her brother. I felt it. I know exactly, what she went through, and losing someone. I mean, people can always say, oh, I know how you feel, but they really don't if you haven't lost anyone as close to you as a sibling, child, a mother. I mean, if you expect the death, then it's not as bad. Because I've lost my grandmother last year, but it was expected. When it's the unexpected death, then it's not,
right.
It's not an easy thing to deal with.
Absolutely.
Right.
Were you and your grandmother kind of close? Very close.
Mm-hmm.
So how did that impact your life when you lost your grandmother?
Well, let me back it up. Well, when I lost my first grandmother, that impacted a big kind of hard because that was my dad's mom, and she was unexpected. So it hurt. But I was young, so when you're young, you can just keep pushing. But I always think about it every day. It's not a day I don't think about it. Because we talk on the phone every day.
Yes.
We talk on the phone every day. So, and I don't have that. I still talk on the phone to my dad every day. So he's just like, he fills the void for my grandmother, which is like the grandmother I lost last year. That's my mom's mom. It hurt, but not as bad because she lived a long life. She lived, a good life.
Mm-hmm.
She was 88, 89.
Oh, she lived good.
Yeah, she lived good. I mean, she had dementia, so I didn't want her to suffer. So it was a difference.
It's a big difference.
It's a big difference. I mean, but the impact on my mom was different because it's her mother.
Right.
So, yeah.
So how old were you when you lost your grandmother, first grandmother?
I had to be 33.
Did it affect like your everyday life, going to work, how you communicated with family, dealt with people in general?
No, it was just for me, it was just a missing piece.
Yeah.
Like there was a piece missing. It was sad. It was a lot of sadness, but like I said, I was young. I had to work. I mean, I had to, it didn't impact me to where I couldn't function.
Good.
Some things,
You had to keep that strength.
I had to keep the strength.
That fortitude, yes. And when it comes to any type of loss, especially family somewhere close, we have to create that mental fortitude if we didn't have it. But if you already have it, you still have to keep it.
You have
to keep it. Right, and see how we can always reinforce. And that's why it's good when we're going through certain things to have a good family network, a good friend network, a relationship, to have those solid people around you who can put their arms around you.
Yeah, I have a lot of friends. I mean, it was a devastating loss. I mean, it was a devastating impact on our core family. She was the good time.
Yes.
She was the good time aunt, good time grandmother. And, so it changed, but not to where we, couldn't function.
Right. So. It's like she's the type that you said a good time was a family function. Yeah. She finna make sure everybody there. But it's time you better call such and such, and y'all get y'all bus there.
So that was, and then that was, So after, when you lose people here and there, but nobody close. Nobody close.
Yeah. What about when you lost your mom?
My mom's still here.
Okay, excuse me. Your grandmother. Your grandmother.
It was okay. For me, that was a relief from my mom. Because not a relief in that, but in a relief that she's not suffering anymore. We don't have to watch her suffer. We don't have to watch her put her here. Because it's hard to watch somebody die.
It is.
It is very hard. It's very hard to watch someone die. It's hard to... because they don't know. I mean, she had dementia, so she would come in and out. And then she would remember, and then she wouldn't. And then it got to the point where she just didn't remember at all. And it was just hard to watch.
Yes.
It was hard. You know, I don't want to see her, anybody I love, suffer like that. So it was like, okay, she's not suffering. So that was a good feeling that, you know, I know she's in a better place.
Right.
You know.
It's like saying, I know peace is needed.
It's needed.
But do I really want to get this peace at this particular time? Because it's someone close to me.
Yeah.
But I have to
But you
be
can't be
lucid to get
selfish.
peace. You can't be
You
selfish.
can't be selfish.
That's right.
You can't be selfish.
Exactly.
You can't be selfish.
So I heard a lot about you, far as different businesswoman projects and things you have going on. And I was working in San Francisco. I was on a man lift.
Man lift.
I will always see this picture, you know, but I was moving so fast. I was always reading about the foundation, this and that. And then I finally asked her husband. So the pastor said, Ronnie, what's the picture? So he briefly explained to me. But now I see the shirt.
The shirt.
The shirt.
The shirt.
And what does the shirt say?
It is the Ronnie Bubba Robinson Scholarship Foundation.
Okay. Can you tell the people what that shirt signifies?
Well, it signifies. We decided to create a foundation in memory of my son who passed away in 2016, and in a car accident. So what we try to do is, well, what we do is we give back. We provide scholarships. We have toy drives. And well, for me, let me back up a little bit. So when our son died, it was a little hard to function. So my cousin, you know, because every day, you know, I was just, you know, you be in a cloud. So one day she said, "Why don't you start a donation?" I was like, okay, that sounds good. And then, you know, I just started writing things down of how I wanted it to go and what I wanted to do in relation to the foundation. And before I knew it, I had like a page full of you know, little things, and so far, a lot of them has come to pass. What we want to do is, I really want to focus on speaking to kids in relation to wearing their seatbelts, distracted driving. I wanted to get into the driving schools and to the high schools. I had a couple of speaking engagements, but not too many. But I wanted to get into that, but then COVID hit, so then we really couldn't. That dang COVID. Yeah. So I really couldn't. I can still do it, but that kind of pushed us back a little bit as far as that. But we have presented scholarships in his name, and we had 2 toy drives so far. 3 toy drives. 2. Yeah, 2.
That's good. That's good. Matter of fact, that's great.
That is great.
For a mom to lose her son, and devastating, because it's a blow.
It's a blow.
But when you're building a foundation and honoring their name, their memory, right, and having a positive, impactful cause. Yeah,
and we're trying to get funding. It's pretty hard though. It is hard. It's like a second job. It is. Actually, it's like a full-time job.
It is.
But you know, and I do work, so it is kind of hard for me to devote all my time to this because I have to work.
And keep other things going.
Yeah. So we're trying to get a grant, and that way. Because I do get a lot of donations. Everybody's been very good at donating. It's been a positive feedback on the donations. I actually have, we're doing scholarships now, but I haven't posted it, but I have extended it to the end of the month for scholarships.
Well, we're going to have to, on here, keep on
Yeah, I'm gonna have to.
Extending the hand.
Yeah.
Keep on
So
extending.
I'm extending to the end of the month, but yeah, I mean everything's been positive, and I'm really happy about that because it makes me feel good.
It's good. It's good. That's, yes. So, tell me about when you first got the phone call. You heard that your son was in a car wreck. Where were you?
We were home. We were asleep. And it was that year. There was a lot going on. My brother was getting married. We were just like moving. You know how you move around and you move around. So that particular day, we were just moving around. My son worked. He worked in Napa, and I was trying to get shirts to go for the wedding and everything. So, you know, texting him, and he told me what color shirt he wanted. It was just, that day was weird.
Right.
When you look back on the day,
Kind of eerie.
It was just weird.
It was kind of off.
It was off, and I didn't see him. So I normally see him. I'll either FaceTime him or call him, but I didn't call him that day. And my husband said that they had lunch. He went to McDonald's and got the kids some lunch, and they ate in the kitchen. So that day was a little weird. So, and I normally don't sleep until everybody's in the house, but this day I guess I was tired. So because I was moving, I was trying to get everything. We were packing, we were getting ready to go. It was just not packing, but just like laying out clothes, and because I think the wedding was it a wedding? Oh no, it was for the bachelor party. So the wedding was far off down, like in August, but it was for the bachelor party that was coming up. So, so I guess I was tired, and we got a knock at the door, and it was, you know, it was the loud knock, and you know, that wakes you up, and it was 2 sheriffs, and that's when they told us that they identified him by his wallet, his ID on him.
So when they knocked on the door, how was it? They introduced themselves.
Well, I kind of figured that something was wrong because, you know, when I got up, I looked to his room and he wasn't in there. He wasn't there. So I knew something was wrong. And then once they told us, it was just chaos. And yeah, it was just chaos. It was about 2 or 3 in the morning, maybe about 2 in the morning. It was early.
And that's what you call
that's the death
the big
knock.
boom.
That's the death knock. I don't
never want that. No parent, sibling, mom, no one, dad, friend, never want to receive that knock 2, 3, 4 in the morning, because you know when there's something like that, it's never good.
But I felt something was wrong. I felt that it wasn't good, because you know how you feel. Oh, we go to the hospital, we'll see him. I just felt that it wasn't that kind of knock. I just felt it. Just by the knock and just by me looking to his room and he's not there, I just knew it was something wrong.
So did you go to the door by yourself, or your husband was with you?
He went to the door. I was at the stairs. I didn't go down. And I just sat on it. I never
went all the way down.
I never went. I never talked to them. He talked to them. Because I knew something. I knew something. And I just started making phone calls. It was just rough. That night was rough. It was rough.
And then he had to turn back and look at you.
Well, yeah, you know. Yeah, that night. So from that night, it's a lot of things have trickled. Like I don't sleep. Even if my daughter's home, I don't sleep.
Constant check on her.
Well, I just don't sleep through the night. Just, you know, I'll get a good few hours and then I'm up.
So in order, you went to the process of trying to deal with it, deal with the hurt and the pain.
Mm.
Did anyone, or did you seek out like any type of counseling?
Oh, I went to therapy for a year.
For a year?
For a year.
And how was that?
It helped. Well, after he passed, I took a year off of work. Because I couldn't function. I mean, even though, and the thing about that is, even though I'm deemed the strong one, strong people have nobody. I mean, of course I have my friends. Of course I have Keisha. I mean, I do have friends, but you feel like you don't, because you're strong, everybody feels like, oh, you're okay, oh, it can get done. And 9 times out of 10 it does get done, but it's not the same. It's just not the same.
That's so cliche.
Yeah,
because you're never okay.
No, you're not.
How dare you tell me I'm okay when I done lost my son who I done gave birth to?
Well, it appears that way because everything is still moving the way it's supposed to. But you're not okay. But that's only because they deem you to be strong. Even though I am strong, but sometimes the strong people, they need help too.
Yes.
So I went to therapy. I took a year off of work. And so what I would do is I would drop my daughter off at school and I would come home and take a nap every day. Every day I would do that. Every day I would come home and take, because I didn't sleep. I didn't sleep at night. So I would come home and I would take a nap. So by the start of 12th grade, maybe the end of 11th grade, this was in 10th grade. So by the start of the 11th grade, she was driving herself to school. So she had to figure it out because I couldn't do it anymore. So she got a crash course in driving 80 from Fairfield or Sassoon to Richmond every day. She got a crash course. So I just said a prayer. You gotta go. Get the keys. I mean, because at first I was dropping her off and then coming back, but it was too much. So she did a good job. She made it every day. She made it every day. She's a pretty good driver. So.
You're a strong woman to be able to sit here and express yourself as the way you're doing.
It was hard. It was hard. It was really. So I went to therapy, and then when you think you're ready to go back to work, I just kept extending it as long as I could because I didn't want to deal with people. I didn't want to deal with even though I love my coworkers and my friends. It was just hard for me to deal with the day to day. Just the normal day to day that I'm used to dealing with was no more. It wasn't that anymore. It was different.
How did it impact or affect the family life? Like did it cause strain between you and your husband?
And we were at divorce court about 3 times at least. It was hard. It was hard. And it was hard watching him have breakdowns. It was hard. I mean, it was very hard. It was hard. It was hard on my daughters. I have a daughter. She doesn't live with me, so, she was dealing with her. And, as a family, we didn't really, we talked about it, but it was different because he was missing. So we didn't, what do you say? But it was hard to watch. It was hard to watch my husband. I mean, because he still cries like it was yesterday. On this day.
Yes.
He will. And sometimes I'll let him cry it out. Sometimes I'll give I'll console him. But a lot of times I couldn't deal with that because it would break my heart. So I mean, and I can't help you if I can't help. So I didn't like to hear that. I mean, because it was a cry as if it was just that day. Still.
Like we living it every day.
It was
every day.
It was
It's
every
like
day.
it happened yesterday. Happened yesterday. Happened yesterday.
It was every day. It was every day. So I mean, and you can't tell people how to grieve, and by all means, if that's what you have to do, do it. I mean, I just didn't like watching it because it was really painful and it was really hurtful to see our family, you know, separate like that. You know, because we are a close family,
Yeah.
so it was hard for
So, with you being a strong woman, strong mother, strong wife, you send your husband right down. How did your strength pour over to him to lift him up? Because he's breaking down every day.
Well, I mean, I did suggest therapy. I mean, because sometimes you know, people like to do it their way, you know, and it's good to get help. I couldn't do it. I mean, I needed help. I knew I needed help. I could not deal with that day to day and not seek assistance from me because I have to function.
Yes.
We still gotta eat. We gotta pay bills. I mean, if we all a mess, what we gonna do? What are we gonna do if we're all a mess?
Find a way to try to pick up the pieces while they all scrambled on the floor. And if they're on the floor, you know what that means? We all got to get out and try to pick them up.
It's hard though.
Right. So, with all the pieces on the floor, it was a puzzle. Because at first it was a nice, beautiful picture.
It was a picture.
It
I
failed.
mean, the alcohol, it didn't help. You know, alcohol never helps. It's a depressant. So, you know, you feel like just once you take the drink, it's still there.
So the alcohol with you or with your husband?
Both.
For both. Okay.
Both. I mean, it doesn't help. I mean, he doesn't drink anymore. That's good. I mean, I social drink.
I mean, I understand.
Yeah, I social drink. But I didn't, and that's the thing. I didn't want to depend on anything. So I didn't, I wouldn't even take the things that they would prescribe to me from the doctor. Because I didn't want to be on pills. I didn't want to be dependent on any type of thing to get me through. So, I mean, I prayed a lot. I mean, you have to pray. You have to talk to God. You have to, He'll guide you.
Absolutely.
He'll guide you. He'll put you in the right direction. He'll put the right people in place for you. He'll guide you every step of the way. All you have to do is ask. That's pretty much what I did. I mean, I do take Ativan.
Mm-hmm.
The nerves get a little high.
Yeah.
The Ativan bring you down.
I might need some every now and then. My bad nerves.
Yeah, I mean, but that's pretty much it. I mean, but all the antidepressants, I couldn't take that.
Yeah.
I mean,
You know what? And as you said, the doctors describe this.
Yeah, they'll give it to you. They'll give it to you.
But the same things, what I found out
Yeah.
and seen, the same things what they prescribe to you,
Mm-hmm.
or the same things would hook you,
It'll hook you.
and the same instead of making you happy, it'll make you.
It'll make it.
Yeah.
They gave me a sleeping pill, some type of. So I would take a little bit of that, just a half of it or a fourth of it, just so I could sleep. But I would only do that in the daytime because I had to be up. I had to make sure my daughter was where she needed to be.
Yes.
She played softball. She was in school. I had to make sure she graduated. So my mind had to be clear for her. I didn't, and what she needed to do. I couldn't be doped up. I couldn't be drunk. I couldn't be, I couldn't be a mess. Because I had to make sure she was okay.
So how did losing your son, how did it affect his siblings?
Everybody's still sad. I mean, everybody is still pretty much, why? I tried to send my daughter to therapy, but it didn't work. She probably, can use another therapist. I mean, just so she can get her mind straight, as far as where she, it'll help, it'll help keep you on the track.
Yes.
But if not, then, My older daughter went to therapy as well. I mean, we needed it.
Yeah.
We needed it. I think my mom went too. I think, yeah, my mom went too. Cause she developed like a hernia in her neck from the stress. I mean, cause it was devastating. It was devastating.
So, tell us a little bit about, what kind of son was he?
Oh, he was good. He was the best. Very easygoing, very mild-mannered, very laid back. No problems, no backtalk. Just very easygoing.
Look into that camera and tell the world how they can support the Ronnie Bubba Foundation.
You can support in many ways. You can mail a check, 808, the P.O. Box 808, Sassoon, California, 94585. Or you can, how much you can do? You can call me personally. I can give you my Cash App. I don't know my Cash App by heart.
You gonna give it to them?
I don't know if I.
Well, how can they contact you?
Oh, my telephone number is 7.
On social media.
We do have the Ronnie Bubba Robinson Scholarship Foundation on Facebook. My Facebook is Tanya Dyer, D-Y-E-R. My Instagram, I'm so old, you know I don't know these things.
That's all right.
My Instagram is, I think, Teeda143, Teeda 143. Yes.
Well,
or you can contact my husband, 510-504-3414.
And we all know the little guy, Ronnie. We all know him. We can contact him on that man left.
Yeah,
so you're going to find him on the Facebook and the Instagram, Lil Ronnie Robinson.
Yeah,
this is his wife.
We're just trying to, make a positive impact. I got a few letters from a couple of people that we've given scholarships to, how much they appreciate it. And, and it's just, some things it just sticks with them. And,
yes.
They always wear their seatbelts. They always tell me that they keep a mindful, a reminder to constantly wear their seatbelts.
Yes. So I know earlier you was talking about trying to get into the schools, and create an awareness about the seatbelts and driving late and paying attention.
He had his seatbelt on, but he didn't have it on properly. So he was like partially ejected. So had he had it on, he probably would be still here. We probably wouldn't have it on.
So when you say he didn't have it on properly, what was improper about it?
He just had this.
Oh, just the bottom part.
This part, I guess, because it was an older car. He bought himself a car.
What kind of car was it?
He bought an Impala.
Old school.
I said it was an 05. No, it was a little. No, I think it was a 2010. It was a newer model,
but it did have the strap to come across.
Yeah,
he just wasn't wearing it.
But then he wrecked that car. He sped. I was telling him slow down. But kids think they know how to drive. They haven't been driving as long as you or I.
True. You sit all around here.
Yeah, everything's fast right now. But after that accident, 2 or 3 months later, he died. So he was driving an older car that we had, like a Honda, and I think he said the strap itched his neck or something. It was too tight because he was tall. He was taller than us. I don't know how that happened, but he was taller than us. So he would put it behind him. But I would always tell him don't do that.
I hear that.
Yeah.
Wear them seatbelts properly.
Seatbelts. So when I get the letters from the kids, they're just, that's what because I don't know why people don't put their seatbelts. They're in the videos, they driving, they don't have a seatbelt on, and it's like more and more you hear about the young kids in an accident and their seatbelts. Yeah, so that's pretty much what we want to target is distracted driving, wearing your seatbelts, just paying attention.
If there was one thing you could have told him last time.
I told him all. I mean, so that's why, I mean, not to say that, some people have regrets. I mean, I pretty much, I regret that he's not here, but I pretty much, I drilled it in him daily. So sometimes I get upset, now because it's like, I told you 1,000 times, But kids, they don't listen because they know it all. They know everything. We don't know anything, but
We ancient.
But they, you tell them everything over and over and over again. It was like a bro. I know he, in the back of his mind, I know he hears it. He hears it because I'm constantly telling him.
Because I was one of those kids, Mama tell me to do something. Well, one ear and out the other.
Yeah.
Approximately how fast did they say he was going?
We don't know.
So they didn't even have nothing recorded or anything.
Because there were no cameras on that street. Me personally, I think somebody ran him off the road. But
So
that's just my theory.
Where was he coming from?
Work.
What city?
Napa. He worked.
And it's kind of windy. I've never been out there. So windy roads. Was it dark?
It's dark. It was either a deer darting in front of him, or either I think somebody ran him off the road. But because he's driven the road, hundreds of times.
Yeah.
And from where he was to from the gas station to where the accident was, it was less than a mile. So he couldn't have been going that fast.
So did he hit a rock, a tree?
We don't know. Nobody knows.
Hold on.
We don't know.
The police report.
We don't know. Well, there was one witness, but we never heard from that person. It's just, and even the police officer would say, "Oh yeah, that's the mystery accident."
Did he go off a cliff? Did he hit a tree?
Well,
they have to.
He hit it's an embankment.
Okay.
Here that kind of
like the short of the road.
Yeah, and it kind of
hydroplane.
It puts the car airborne.
Right.
Yeah. But we don't know. We don't know. I don't know.
And that's the type of things, because now a mom, a family need answers, real answers to what happened to my son.
Yeah, but Ronnie had a detective looking into it, a private investigator.
Yes.
Nothing came about it. We don't know.
Because when do our people with all this technology?
I know, but they didn't have cameras. They had that road did not have any cameras for whatever reason. They still don't. They still don't have any cameras.
And then from a gas station, depending on how many miles it was
less than a mile.
They should have heard something. Somebody should have heard something.
But it was dark.
Yeah.
It's like 11 o'clock. It was dark. 10:30. It was dark. It's dark over there.
Yeah.
Dark.
But God willing, one day those answers, what you see,
the answers will come.
They will come.
They will come.
Because God don't make no mistakes.
No, He does not. They'll come. I just keep praying.
Yes.
Keep praying about it.
Now I have a question in relation. Do you want the answer?
Yes and no. I'm okay with the answer.
So you okay with how it plays out right now?
Well, because I know that, like I said, I did everything
that you could do.
That I could do. I birthed him, sent him to good schools, got him baptized, he accepted Christ. So, it's nothing more that I could have done. It was, other than be in the car with him.
Right.
To drive him to home. There's nothing more that I could have done.
Strong mom. Yeah. You are very strong.
You just know that you do the best. You do the best for your kids in hopes that they pay attention and they listen and they do the right thing. He wasn't a bad kid, but
he just erred right there without listening.
Yeah.
And that doesn't make a person bad.
That doesn't make you bad. That just makes you a little hard-headed. That's okay. And that's okay. We don't love you when you're less. I wish it didn't happen. I pray that, and sometimes you get mad. You get mad at God, because like I said, it changed it changed the family. I mean, it didn't break us, but it did change us. So,
you know, we break.
Yeah, we break every day.
But we come back. We come back, and we mend what we go through, and sometimes that break is needed to become solid.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. And so, is there anything else you want to add before we wrap up episode 2, the Voices of the Unheard Tips? Because what I want to say is that
I thought it was going to be a real crying session. I'm glad it did.
you held it in.
I tried.
I saw the eye water. I saw the water. But you could have let it out. It's all good.
That's okay.
You know,
Okay.
but being able to just come here, sit on this couch, we at Rich City Studios, but to open up.
But I appreciate you for inviting
And
me.
thank you. Now, I appreciate you because I needed you on this couch to share the world, to share your story to the world, because there are so many women, right, who go through this, but their voices and their tears and their cries and their pain is unheard. It's not being felt. And so that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to really just put this message out.
I wanted to turn his death into a positive, not, I mean, because you can be sad you're sad every day. I mean, but it doesn't help. It's not going to help. Unless you turn it around, you have to turn all negatives into a positive.
Yes.
Otherwise, you're just, you can be strung out on dope, you can be, an alcoholic, you can have cirrhosis of the liver, all the bad things that you can take from being sad and depressed is not going to help your body. And it's not going to have you here longer than you should be. I mean, because you have kids, I want to see grandkids, I want to see my daughters grow up and have kids. And so if I'm a mess, I won't be here. I'll be in the grave next to him. And it's not. You don't want that. You want to come out of something better than better than you started. You started a mess.
Okay, so.
And eventually, we were talking about, I was asking Tanya that, like a podcast, where you can have teens come on and talk about, things and, being in a car accident, losing someone in a car accident, and how are they feeling, just to get their voices heard and get it out for them.
Absolutely.
Because kids, they're hurting, but they feel like they don't have anybody to go to.
And that's the something.
And of course they're not gonna listen to me. I mean, mine's, they listen, but to a certain extent, you know.
And we have to be able to, as we grab the adults, continue. That's what we're about to grab the kids, grab the youth, to be able to say, hey, there's nothing wrong with sharing your pain and opening up to be vulnerable, because one thing about being vulnerable, it shows courage.
Yeah,
and it shows fortitude, mental fortitude, because to be able to talk about your pain and say, I'm really hurting, and this is why I'm hurting, that's powerful.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, daily. It's not like a day that doesn't go. I mean, I think about Bubba like every second of the day. Every second, from the time I wake up to the time I go to bed. It's a thought that runs by, a saying he used to say, something that will remind me of him. So he's still within us. I mean, he's not gone, but we miss him.
The spirit lives on.
Yeah, we miss him, but I think of me thinking about him daily, it heals. It still hurts, but it heals. I mean, because he's missing important things,
Yes.
and and it hurts for my daughter, because my little daughter, my big daughter too, but the little daughter, because she's close in age with him. So there's a not to say it's a difference with the older kids, but she's close in age, and and it was just them two for the longest. So so she's missing a piece. I mean, she deals with it the best as she can, but it's hurtful. It's a hurting thing.
Yes. Did he leave any kids behind?
I wish we probably would have wrapped them kids up. They
Yeah.
The mama would have never saw that baby. No, not that we know of. No, he's only 22.
Yes.
No, but his friends, they have babies. And, they're doing well.
Right. And this is just a start of what Motivated Help Others, Rich City Studios, the Bubba Foundation, Keys to the Future Foundation, everything else with everyone. We're just trying to come together and bring some positive things out of all negative situations.
All negative. Keisha's always been my biggest supporter.
Yes.
Yeah.
But she was telling me. She said, you know what? Yeah. She said, oh yeah. She gonna have some good. Yeah, she good. You need to have her on there. Yeah, she good.
Thank
and so,
you, Keisha.
and what I did, because I had 2 more people lined up, just moved them to the back. They don't know who they are. God, they tell they was coming next. But I said I had to make sure I get Miss Tanya Robinson on here.
It helps. I mean, it does help. I was nervous, but it's just I don't like to talk about it. I mean, I just like to, work with the foundation and work, doing other things. I mean, because if I talk about it, not that I don't like to talk about it, but it just brings like a little sadness that he's not here, and this is why we're doing it. But it's okay.
Yeah. So is this your first time really just open up talking about it?
No. I mean, without crying, yes.
That was
Thank you,
good.
God.
Yes.
Thank you, God. But no.
So how do you feel now since you came on this
good.
show and
I feel good.
did?
I feel good. I could probably keep going.
Well, thank you.
Other places, other platforms.
Yes. Well, this is just one, so it's a lot of things ahead.
Yeah, it is.
Yes, man. And we also gonna do a follow up.
Okay.
Yeah. So once we wrap the full shooting up, whatever the women we want to get on, we gonna go to different places. And and bring the women. So it might be Napa or different places. Just to talk. This is how it began and end. Well, not so much end, but this is
where it started.
Where it started. Exactly.
Now it's going.
And that's what we want to do.
Yeah.
And again, we thank everyone for tuning in to episode 2 of Voices of the Unheard Tears. My name is Fahim. I have Miss Tanya. I have Chuck behind the camera. We have our guest over here, Keisha. And keep on supporting Motivated Help Others. We are Rich City Studios. World Last, tell them what you got going on.
Right now.
Let them see that shirt.
Right now we're doing high school graduating scholarships. You can apply at www.rbrscholarshipfoundation.com. There's a link you can apply there. Scholarships are up to $1,000. And yeah, we've extended it to the end of May, 1st of June.
Thank you. And we're going to push to all them schools and let them know what's going on. Let them teenagers, them 16-year-olds know what's going on. Yeah. We gotta keep it together. They're speeding up and down these streets. Okay, thank you very much, Tanya.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Peace out.